Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to On the Range podcast. We are live on X for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, buddy.
Wherever you are, thank you for making us part of your day. I am Mark Kelley from KelleyDefense.com, and joined as always is my cousin friend from warhog.com, Rick Hogg. How's it going, buddy?
Man, Mark, it is going great. You know what? It's even better because for the viewers out there, you'll see, hang on here, the OTR crew shirt, right? So at ontheRangePodcast.com, get a little swag section in there. Got me a new shirt,
Oh, yeah.
courtesy of you there, buddy. So get
Yeah, man.
your crew member shirt. So I figured, hey, why not support it for this inaugural X Live event? Why not? Right. So trying to use some of Elon's technology, get On the Range podcast out there a little more. But really just want to thank you, the viewer listener out there, for giving us your most precious commodity, your time to tune in. So guys, greatly appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you. Do us a huge favor, man, wherever you're listening to this, whatever platform, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, rating, all that good stuff, because that's what's going to help us at the end of the day kind of beat the big tech algorithm. And on that note, I just got to say this because we've said it. We've had a couple shows on it, and you think that Zuck is going to come through. Zuck's a liar. So got some notes from some people. Hey, man, been following you, defollow, but I didn't defollow you. So at the end of the day, Zuck and his quote unquote free expression, doesn't want to say the word free speech because he's un-American. Yeah, he's lying. So if anyone else has any Zuck horror stories, stick them down in the comments and let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, wherever you are, thank you for making us part of your day. And, as these last few weeks we've talked about it, multiple times, Rick, and we just got to say that our hearts are out there, and our prayers are with our fellow Americans out there with the California fires. It's just devastating right now. So, all of our thoughts are going out to those folks. Hope everybody is staying as safe as possible. And a big shout out to the first responders who are fighting that blaze and keeping folks safe out there, doing the best they can. So just hats off to those folks as well. But we really feel for those individuals out there. We've talked about it on the last live show that we did, Rick. And, it's tough. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, just to kind of keep people up to date for what we're hearing, maybe get some interaction. So if you have any information that you want to give us, you can send us an email at beourguest@ontherangepodcast.com. And if you're on site or if you have firsthand information, we'll get you on the show right now. So keep that in mind. beourguest@ontherangepodcast.com. So, we talked about it last week, Rick, and there's a lot of questions that, these folks deserve to have asked of them, like, hey, what's going on and where are we going from here? And the response that the folks out there are getting, we just don't feel as a whole here in the OTR universe that they are getting served properly by their leadership out there.
No. And here's the thing. They're not going to. At the end of the day, between the state leadership and between LA's leadership, there is no leadership, right? It's nothing but incompetence. And it's funny because I put a post on LinkedIn today from a 1961 documentary that talks specifically as far as LA and the fire hazards around there, right? So this isn't a new thing. Trump was telling Newsom back, before he or when he was in office the first time, hey, dude, you've got issues.
Yeah.
Quit wasting your water. Quit dumping it in the ocean, right? You've got to do things, do your forestry management that they don't do out there. And then they sit there and have this catastrophic result. And then you get FEMA rolling in. So, the FEMA escalation, they said they were going to give the Hawaiians $600. They got nothing. They said they were going to give the North Carolinians $750. Of course, they got jack all. And then for the cats in LA, hey, we're going to throw you $770, right? Like, this whole FEMA thing is a scam. But no, my heart goes out to those guys because it's been a known thing, and leadership from the top of the bottom has failed the citizens, and in turn, people have lost everything. When your home burns with all your worldly possessions, what do you do? Especially, people go, well, got insurance. No, they can't. I think everyone got their insurance canceled beforehand,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Well, many of them did, or they just
yeah,
couldn't afford it and decided to drop it, you know?
yeah. So it's what do you do? And my heart goes out, but I reached out to those that I know out there in California. Everyone I talk to, everyone's healthy, right? Everyone's alive. That's the key part. Um,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, that's a blessing in itself. Hey, your possessions. Yeah, I guess you can, kind of start over. But dude, I what a gut punch, man. People trying to go, hey, bouncing from house to house, friends to friends, not having a place to lay your head. And
Yeah.
it's rough, man. Absolutely
Yeah.
rough. So
It's definitely a rough one. And, you hear about the defunding of the fire department. I did see some of that stuff isn't exactly true because they
mhm,
did double some of the manpower and some of these other things. But there is several, tens of millions of dollars that are unaccounted for that should have gone to these type of things. And not only that, the attentiveness to the fact that fire out there is their main concern for public safety for the most
mhm,
part. Of course, crime and all that kind of stuff. But I'm talking about like damage. They don't have hurricanes out there. They do have
mm-mm,
some earthquakes, but their main thing is fire.
yep,
And there's some things that they could have done that they obviously didn't do. The whole reservoir thing and all that. Okay, yeah, with the $7.5 billion, that's a lot of jack to not have any of those projects completed. Fair
yeah,
enough, but not having that one reservoir that has like 117 million gallons
mhm,
bone
yep,
dry,
yeah.
unacceptable,
Oh,
absolutely unacceptable.
but without a doubt. And here's the thing. Um, we had one of our crew members because we did a Zoom call the other day,
Hmm.
and while we're doing that Zoom call with the members, we actually had live footage going. And man, my hat's off to Brian because Brian's in the fire service, and he's like, "Man, you could be doing this and this and this," and just bringing up great ideas. Um, basically causing backfires to kind of choke those fires out. Um, Not sure what's all going on, but everything he was saying makes perfect sense. But again, I think they're at 13,000 structures destroyed. And
God,
it's still going,
yeah.
you know. And I believe it's in 3 locations. What are we at? Like close to 40,000
Yeah, they
acres?
had. I think the Eaton fire still going. The Palisades fire is still going, and they have another one that is um, nearly 50% contained.
Yeah.
So I mean, they are making some headway, but like you said, the mismanagement, the forestation, and the things that they could have done, the management of that stuff.
Yeah.
We've talked about this on the last show and at some of the Zoom calls with the crew members. Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and these other heavily, you know, dense pine needle forests out there,
Mhm.
they were doing control burns every
Yeah.
season.
Well,
And, sometimes we get detail out there to do that dirty work and messing around with that stuff. But
yeah.
look at what you could have avoided. Now, would this avoid look, those 100-mile Santa Ana winds and all that stuff? I get it, man. That's a tough
Mhm.
thing anyway, with that
Mhm.
tinderbox that you're living in. And that's all it is, bro. A tinderbox.
I mean, that's it. Um, but if you're not doing any forestry management,
Right.
that's the key thing. So you have basically let the environmentalists dictate to the state government what's
Hmm.
best for them. Well, okay, Mr. Environmentalist, how about you start paying? And you're probably talking billions of dollars of loss.
Oh, dude.
You're
I
going to
think
fork that
in the
over?
first week, yeah, in the first week they were estimating there were like close to 50 billion.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the first
Yeah.
week. And
Yeah.
with the speed that thing picked up, dude, it's got to be 3 times that. It's got to be
Oh,
by now.
but my point is, we listen to these environmentalists that, oh, you can't burn the forest. It's not good. No, it's what has to happen. So you don't have issues like this.
Yep.
And everything is so driven around that. And I'm not saying you don't take care of the environment, you don't take things into consideration. But anyone that's been on a military reservation for a day in their life knows that that's just protocol. You have your fire breaks. I mean, they are roads, they're navigable roadways, some larger than others on post, but that's what they're designed for. Hey, they're going to set a fire in area J. Roger that. Burn area J down. So that way, God forbid something happens, it's not a super crazy tinderbox and you basically burn the entire post down. They do their sections, they burn along. Hey, man, put the little sign out there on the road, smoke in the roadway. Pff, yep. And let me tell you, them cats have no shame doing them controlled burns in the middle of freaking July and August. And it just
Right.
turns a hot day even hotter, man. I mean, it's just like,
Mhm.
oof. But
Yeah.
why not? Why wouldn't you? You're not, I don't know what these environmentalists are afraid of, because we've got the red cockaded woodpecker here on Fort Bragg, an endangered species. And somehow they still do their control burns, right? They got endangered
Yeah.
plants. There's
Sure.
all historical sites. Like there's all these things that when you take a step back, common sense would go, oh, we should, the poor woodpecker, you're going to burn him out of his house. Nope. He seems to be fine. Oh, these plants, they seem to recoup. These historical buildings haven't been burnt down. So I don't understand what the argument is from these environmentalists. And then, oh, by the way, why the state actually listens to them. Hey, you can take, okay, I got what you're saying, but it is unsafe for the citizens of this state not to do control burns. So what are we at?
Right.
20, was it 20 or 24 people have lost their life
Yeah.
thus far?
Yeah.
That's 24 too many.
Yeah.
You know, the billions of dollars of loss, you know, where are you getting that back from? So,
Well, and may not be just as simple as incompetence. I mean, dude, this bribery is baked into the way this government works with all
mhm.
the activists and all the donations and all that stuff. It's just naturally baked in there. And if someone believes that just doesn't happen, then I'm sorry, they're foolish, and they just don't want to believe the fact that those things happen all the time. And that
Oh yeah.
very well could be at play here. Maybe not, from this directly, but leading up to it, that some of these, some of these issues where, hey man, if you leave this area alone with this type of stuff, or give me a monopoly on this type of resource in this area, just kind of direct that water over here. And we've heard it with the, the almond and the nuts and all the things that are
Mhm.
grown out there.
Yeah.
Dude, those things are real. And if people believe that that's not real now, is that a direct cost to this? I don't know. But I know one thing, they're running out of water. They're running out of water.
Yeah.
They've been running out of water for the last decade.
And here's the thing, they've got plenty of water because they're dumping water into the Pacific,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Like they have the water. It's mismanagement. And you bring up a great point, Mark, right? We'll just call it grease in the skids for lack of better terms.
Mhm.
So tell me,
Absolutely.
how is it that a governor who makes $244,000 a year can go buy him a $9.1 million residence when you're looking at just just for um just for his mortgage, you're talking $50,000 a month to pay that note. Hmm. I'm not the brightest cat, but you run out of money.
Yeah, that's
Where's
a
he
lot of
getting all
money.
this? Where's he getting all this extra cash at? Right? Probably from his bullet train that never went, that God knows the poor people of California spent billions of dollars on. Pockets got lined.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Oh
he
yeah.
got his cut, right? But it's mind-boggling. Just let's just call them the top three for lack of better. Well, we'll put the fourth in there as well. So you start at the governor. Absolute, we know where his competence level sits at. And then you got the mayor. She's brain dead, right? And then let's talk about between old Fire Marshal Bill and the water czar, who both are brain dead,
Yeah.
right? That care more about DEI than they do anything else. And your DEI cost at least 20 some, I think it's 20. I think the number is either 20 or 24. We'll go on the short end. And if somebody knows, please shoot us a note and let us know. But we'll say 20 people. So because of your DEI incompetence, 20 people are dead. Billions and billions of dollars of property lost.
Yeah.
How does that resonate with you? And here's the thing. These people don't care. That's the part at the end of the day. They don't care. Like some lady ran up to Newsom, and my man lies to start. He's got his phone out. Oh yeah, I'm on the phone with Biden right now. Well, put him on speaker. Let's hear this.
Right.
Well, I got to get cell service. Why are you lying to your constituents, man? Don't lie.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm trying to get a hold of the president right now, but you know what? I got no cell service. But he's like, oh no, like trying to be all important. So, I mean, sorry, dude, you're lying. You're incompetent. Your state's running amok. And oh, by the way, there's zero supervision from the top to the bottom. So,
yeah. Speaking of cell service, let me throw this up here for those who are viewing, and we'll read some from it. This was a very interesting post from Avery Warwick. Let me bring that up here. And she said that I interviewed a Los Angeles Fire Department with 20 plus years of service. The truths I found are harrowing. Gavin Newsom ordered the removal of Elon Musk from the command post and ordered the Cal Fire firefighters to return all donated, I think it was Starlink. Yeah. That's the first I heard about that.
Yep.
Yeah. Why in the world would you do that?
Yeah.
Why in the world would you do that? Secured, fast, reliable comms in a disaster. Why wouldn't you have that available? And why wouldn't you just say thank you and take it? Now, I don't know if this was out there or this is something that this young, I think she's an independent journalist. I'm not sure, but sorry about that. I'll be definitely educated more on what she does because this is a good piece of information. And the fire department was consulted on the draining of the Palisades Reservoir, or was not. And I believe that. And you bring up another good point about the water czar. That lady gets like $750,000 a year for her position. $750,000, and you don't have a reservoir in the tinderbox of all those. Those aren't $300,000-$400,000 homes there, bro. Those are expensive houses.
I don't
and
care.
It doesn't really matter.
No, I don't care if you got single wide stacked up, right? I don't care. I don't care. You have a person's residence, right?
Yeah.
But what she cares more about is social injustice, DEI, right? She doesn't have an answer. Well, they were doing maintenance. Okay, cool. But then all these lies come out because then you got people going over there to the reservoir going, well, where's the maintenance equipment? Where's the stuff they say they were repairing? It's just empty. Not a worker be around, not nothing, right? So somebody had to make the call, dump the water, empty the reservoir.
Or to not fill it for sure.
Well, either way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know at the last point it had water. But it is just, it's mind-boggling. You sit there, and Elon has been a great donator of his Starlinks.
Yes.
And Newsom wants to turn around and go, take him back. Have you lost your mind? You're in a disaster. You're in a disaster area where what's your number one key? Communications. Hey, man, can we all talk? No. Give him back.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Brother.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. And it's sickening for me as an American, other side of the country, to watch that garbage. It's sickening to me that, let's look at the two disasters beforehand between Hawaii, North Carolina, not California, and you've got zero, zip, zilch, nothing of support from the federal government. But we'll fund the military industrial complex all day long. We'll pump billions of dollars over to Ukraine. Yeah. What about our own people? And that's where, I'm sorry, man. There are too many crooks up there in DC. There's too many crooks at the state level. There's too many crooks at the local level. And it's we, the people, that's paying. And it's we, the people, that have to be smarter when it comes to these election processes. It's we, the people,
Mhm.
that need to be smarter to go, no, no, no. You're not the person I want. And I'm sorry. At the end of the day, these political parties got to go. And I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, whatever. You need to look at the person. And at the end of the day, get off the party line crap. Well, I've got to vote for the Democrat because they're a Democrat. Why? And we haven't
Well,
seen we haven't seen from the Democratic Party. Let's be an honest broker. If you claim the title of Democrat, you're not a performer. Give me one. I got nothing. Right.
no.
And I'm going to do a slight pivot here. You look at the confirmation hearings.
Oh, dude.
The
Yeah.
Dems have showed themselves as being incompetent, and I'm going to call it straight like it is, stupid. And you know what? I can say that because the First Amendment says I can.
Yeah.
Um,
No, that's a great transition from the incompetence that we're seeing at the state level in California
mhm.
into the continued incompetence of the Senate and these congressional hearings and all these other things you see. It's absolutely ridiculous. Not only it made the cabinet picks look like superstars without them having to try very hard, bro,
No,
because
dude.
they just went up there. I mean, let's start with Pete Hegseth. He sounded to me like I'm not even going to say any line level leader in the military
Mhm.
who's good at their job.
Yeah.
And everybody's just astounded at how great. I'm like, dude, this is what every competent leader sounds like. You guys just aren't used to hearing it.
Mm-mm.
You see Adam Schiff up there and Elizabeth Warren and all these folks up there just absolutely making fools of themselves.
Yeah.
It was it's a continued display of incompetence and just buffoonery that we see from our Senate and Congress. It's absolutely terrible. And there's nowhere in sight of this ending until these folks get into power and their administration gets into power and
Mhm.
start to be able to make some of these changes. Until then, it's going to be a rocky road because these folks are still working there. It's not like they're immediately leaving on the 20th.
No. And Pete brought up some great points, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one that really stuck out was during World War II, when probably we were at our strongest as a military. There were 7 4-star generals, and I
Mm,
think today we've got 42 or something like that.
mm.
Right? Okay, so we've got all this extra brass. What are they doing? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then Pete brought up a great point. Hey, man, we got to hold somebody responsible for that debacle in Afghanistan. And it's like these people, they don't want to. Responsibility and the Democratic Party does not go together.
No.
They'll sit there and go, no one's above the law, but that doesn't apply to us. But there was not even like Elizabeth Warren. I don't know if they even looked at Pete's bio. I don't know if they looked at his military service, because let's just rewind the tape for one sec. I personally don't know, and I'd have to do a Google search, if there's even been a prior military individual that has served as Secretary of Defense. I don't know. But old Elizabeth Warren gets on her soapbox because one of Pete's big things is, hey man, if you're a general retiring from the military, you don't get to work for the defense contract, we'll just call it the military industrial complex for 10 years. And then she comes in and like, well, can you give me your word that when you get out of the Pentagon, you're not going to do that? She's like, I'm not a general.
Yeah.
And here's the part. The peanut gallery in the back starts chuckling, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it was an utter embarrassment. It's like, hey, Liz, go hit the door. Might as well put your head in there, smash it 3 times because you're dumb as a box of rocks, right? Nobody's asking him anything real policy wise. And Pete brings up a great point. We're going to hold people accountable. We're going to get our lethality back. Okay. The follow-up question should be, well, how do you propose to do that? What's your plan? But they don't, right? It's mind-boggling that I listen to these people and it's a straight argument. You got the Republicans saying one thing, you got the Dems trying to jab. And I'm like, at the end of the day, we're no closer to figuring anything out. I mean,
No.
it was, I forget which senator it was, but they're basically sitting there, chucking rocks at Pete,
Mhm.
for some alcohol stuff, for some, infidelity stuff. And finally, one of the Republican senators like, hey, man, I've seen you cats coming here drunk. Should you be fired? I know a bunch of you been divorced because you've been cheating on your old lady. You gonna get fired? And it was just like, hey, dude, you gonna throw rocks in the glass house? So it just goes to show the hypocrisy of these people that they think their crap don't stink. And dude, they're all dirty, right? All them cats up there, dirty. They're taking bribes. They're getting influenced by all these cats. But they want to sit on that holier than now pedestal and go, nope, not me. So it was nice to see one of their own stick up and go, hey, man, you're not as holy as y'all think. And even Pam, I mean, she did a smash job, man.
Yeah, you brought up a good point with we don't know anything. And the reason that is because they weren't asking anything pertaining to what they were there for.
No,
Dude, if I had to listen to one more question about, are you going to admit that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election? Dude, first of all, nobody cares. Second of all, Joe Biden's the president. Joe
that's what
Biden's the
she said.
president.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Right.
And those who aren't kind of following it as closely as you're able to because of work, and hey, I get it. That's what we're here for. But Pam Bondi from she's the Attorney General of Florida.
Yep.
She had her testimony today, her chance to address the confirmation hearings, and she did very well. And the funny thing is she's like, it's weird that none of you, especially you, Adam Schiff from California, I believe he's from California, none of you asked us, well, what's your plan for crime? What's your plan for the home? That nothing.
Nope.
Nothing. They're asking about January 6th. They're asking about all this other stuff. I'm like, dude, American people want to move forward and they wanted their lives to start improving now. They don't want to talk about this BS gaslighting stuff. And I tell you who else is doing it. Speaking of gaslighting, if you go to On the Range Cast, CAST on Twitter, or X, you can check out the post we put out. The fact that my man is still gaslighting and his team is still gaslighting about all the great things he has done, it's never ending. These folks are committed to try to rewrite history. And man, they're going to do it all the way up till the very last day under that POTUS moniker on X, bro, because it is shameless. And Adam Schiff, to get up there and to talk like that, and Pam Bondi dropped it on him, said, hey, you saying these lies and these things is exactly why you were unable to say things about the Hunter Biden story, because how long did he do the Russia collusion, it knowingly lying, because he was in on those committees and knew that thing existed and that this was not disinformation. This was true. How often did he lie? Every chance he got, he was lying. And CNN and MSNBC aren't off the hook either because they put him on.
Yeah. And here's the thing. You bring up a great point. Not a single policy deal. So if Trump gives you a name, are you going to go after him? Hey, man, this isn't the Biden administration, right? Because you
No,
guys had one name called Trump that all you did
right.
was target. And I it's like, quit being petty. And we were kind of talking this in pre-production too. I'm curious to see, because the Dems brought up they kind of lift up their skirt a little bit, right? So are you going to go after prosecutors? She's like, yeah, if there's bad ones. So I'm waiting to see, mark my words, um, come the 19th, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Jack Smith, old Fannie Willis, bunch of these cats. Wait,
Alvin Bragg.
Alvin Bragg, who's it? Old Letitia James, like all these cats get some type of blanket. It wouldn't surprise me that, well, you've been pardoned of any potential crimes
Yeah.
during the conduct of your duties, right? Now I don't think you can give Fannie Willis, anything as far as her embezzling her campaign funds, but that's a whole nother story, right?
Oh man.
He probably won't cover on that one, but it
Yeah.
I saw a thing today, and I can't remember the representative's name down in Georgia. So a Georgian state representative was basically booted out today and arrested because he was the whistleblower on old Fannie Willis. Right, like
Mm,
it's bizarro world
yeah.
we're living in, and if it were up to me, let's be an honest broker, people. Right, take a step back. Look at these politicians. What are they really doing? And I'll be an honest broker, right? Trump was a powerhouse. He still is. I think he's even going to be stronger now because he's smarter. He's already ran the race. But let's look at it. I don't care if you're at the federal level, state level, or local level. I've only got one word. They're not politicians. They're called crooks, because that's what they are. They're stealing money. How do you sit there and go to a position? And let's be an honest broker, Mark. We were both public servants.
Mhm.
We're making whatever, our jobs were paying us. We're not multimillionaires. Where did we miss the mark, man? I mean, I guess I need to talk to AOC and go, hey, girlfriend, you had 20K worth of assets going up there. Now you're a multimillionaire. Where did I miss the mark?
Yeah.
Because she wasn't making that much more, right? That's the part that kills me, man. How can we do that? And then, Trump brought up a good point. Wants to bring up term limits from the cats. Oh, they're burning cheetah flips, man. I'm gonna lose all my insider trading info. Right? Like they're getting
Oh, for
pissed
sure,
off.
man. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Oh, dude.
but
Yeah. That kind of stuff is, I think, is something that could be addressed by, policy just being changed, because it's not illegal. We know that.
what's that?
They have so many, the insider training and stuff that they do. They all do it.
They all do it. They're not supposed to, right?
Yeah. I don't know if there's actually anything written into law that says they can't.
There's gonna be.
Well, that's my point. I think that's something that definitely needs to be addressed along with the term limits.
Yeah.
But
Term.
the, the thing though, Rick, and I think, talking about these prosecutors, they
Mhm.
knew exactly what they were doing.
Oh yeah.
They couldn't, these are local charges in many cases, and they can't do it without somebody locally in the position to do so, like Alvin Bragg or Fannie
Mhm.
Willis, to draft
Mhm.
up these charges and prosecute them.
Yeah.
I don't, they may not be the ones who are these two are not masterminds. Let's face it, but they are absolutely 100, down with it, and they did it. And this
That
freaking judge, man, what a weak. I mean, why not just throw it out? No
yeah.
sentencing without punishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're guilty, but yeah, we're not going to do it. Hey, Godspeed. Hey, yeah, F off.
Yeah.
F off. What a joke.
Here's the thing with old Fanny and Alvin. I would change their names to Dumb and Dumber, and you can pick
Oh
whichever's dumb,
man.
whichever one's dumber, right? Like it's bizarro world, and I'm still waiting for somebody to explain to me the 34 felonious charges. I don't even know what they are. I know he's convicted of 34 felonies. I don't know what those felonies are.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show, and it's actually kind of funny because Fanny got snake bit out of it,
Oh
which
yeah.
is
She still got reelected though. Oh my god.
well, she got reelected. She got reelected,
Oh man.
right? And Cobb County,
Mm.
love you guys. Not sure what you're doing.
Wow.
You might want to have the Board of Elections maybe check the records, right? I don't know. But yeah, she's going to prosecute Trump. How many murderers, rapists, pedos slipped through the cracks while that was going on? I don't know.
I don't know.
But
Oh, dude, but she certainly was exposed horribly on stand. Horribly on stand. That was crazy.
dude, here's the bottom line. I don't care if you're 100% innocent. Never take the stand.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you're up there, you've opened yourself up for what I can ask you whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, well, that doesn't pertain, right? And you can sit there and object. And the judge may or may not allow it, right? Hey, Your Honor, you can get something to go down the road. Who cares about your cash money hidden in the wherever under your mattress? Like, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
And that was the sinking ship because it's like, dude, none of this stuff's making sense, right? Like your lies are starting to fall apart. But at the end of the day, here's the true test. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. And I think there was one other thing we talked about during pre-production, Rick, was, the last days of the Biden administration. And
Mhm.
you brought up some of it, like, with the possibility of more pardons. Talked about some other stuff when it came to how, they're gaslighting any chance they get. Now they're just resorting to flat out lying. There's no, it's not just gaslighting. They're flat out lying.
Yeah.
The amount of money, and Joe Rogan brought this up too, the amount of money that was accidentally added on to the allotment that Ukraine was given, which was $6 billion extra, $5 billion would have rebuilt Maui.
Mhm.
So those kind of things is exactly why the American people voted the way of Donald Trump. Not unanimously, of course, but definitely got the popular vote. And those kind of things should be held accountable at this level. And here we are, last few days, just trying to rewrite history. And I don't think anybody's even paying attention. I really
No.
don't. I think
No.
they're just not even listening to the old guy anymore, and they're just not even paying attention. I just want to get your take on that before we get towards the end and start wrapping this up. But it's incredible the amount of gaslighting that's going on right now.
Here's the thing. So, let's just call them the team. So old Joe, Comrade Kamala, up there at state, sitting there going, "Oh yeah,
Mhm.
we brokered the ceasefire deal."
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
Okay. But let's rewind the tape because you guys are a couple days, about a week late, I think, because Trump had made a comment. Hey man, release them hostages or we're going to bomb you to hell or something to that
Mhm.
context, right? And he said it twice. You let him go or else you're going to hell or hell's coming or, whatever. And here's the thing. Shockingly, why did we not have all this conflict when he was in office? Why didn't freaking Putin invade Ukraine when he was in office? Don't tell me he was massing his forces. Like he was sitting there waiting. I tell you why he was waiting. He was waiting for freaking senile to get in there, right? Because they know his pockets need to be lined. It's all just corruption at its finest. Um, but here's the thing, and we kind of hit on it a little bit. Granted, 4 days left. They're going to do everything in their power they can to screw Trump as much as they can. It would not surprise me come probably around 11:45, 11:50, the evening of the 19th, all these prosecutors are going to get a pardon. Jack Smith, Fannie Willis, Alvin Bragg, Letitia James, whoever else is on the freaking dossier. I guarantee there'll be a pardon that says, hey, you're pardoned of any wrongdoing during official duties.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think they can cover Fannie for her embezzling of her election funds, right? Maybe he does, maybe he will. I don't know. But I think that's going to be the final play because the Dems are very scared, and you could tell by the hearings when they're talking to Pam, it's like, well, if he gives you a name, this is not what we do.
No.
Right? What's the crime? Now, does that not mean that she's not going to look at, because it is going to be her Department of Justice? It doesn't mean she's not going to take a hard look and go, hey, man, is there a crime there? Wrongful prosecution, is that a crime? I mean, they're going to have to take a look. Right?
Yeah. And I can tell you one person that's really concerned, because you heard her name being brought up the last several months, is Liz Cheney, and she should be. Witness tampering, all that stuff. I believe it.
Oh,
Absolutely,
dude.
100% believe it. There's got to be something to it, or they wouldn't be concerned about it. Because you can sit there and say all you want, well, they did nothing wrong. Well, then why do they need a pardon?
Yeah. Well,
You guys, Adam Schiff has been saying Russian collusion and all these other things with the setup of the information that was given overseas and then brought over.
The old Steele dossier. Yeah.
Yeah, the dossier,
Clinton,
all that stuff.
Yeah, the Clinton paid $1 million for, right? Or financed $1 million of it, right? Like,
yeah,
brother, when you look at this administration, let's be an honest broker. Fauci, he needs to go get the chair, right? He's worse than Dr. Mengele. You look at Mayorkas, absolute just garbage. Old Ray. I mean, all these cats at the DOJ. It would not surprise me he doesn't slap them a pardon, because they're all dirty, man. They all broke the law at the end of the day, man. Or maybe just throws them to the wolves. I don't know. But that's,
well,
and
they
that's
didn't treat them great.
No. Well, it's not even treating them great, right? Like, you look at Mayorkas. Hey, dude, don't tell me the border was sealed. We got umpteen gazillion people, right? And then here's the thing. What happens, God forbid, there's a no kidding terrorist incident that they can track back to that individual making a crossing when Mayorkas was in charge. Now, do you get, depending, let's say, and guys, I hope nobody gets injured, right? But I'm throwing hypotheticals out there. Let's say 5 people get killed because improvised freaking, some type of IED from a terrorist organization. Are you going to get Mayorkas for an accessory to that? Right?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, Fauci smoked more people, straight up lied, all the documentation there. Right? How many people are dead because of him? I mean, at what point do you sit there and take a look? How much effort do you want to take in? And at the end of the day, that's what it's going to be. How much resources are you going to have to pull from DOJ to go after these people? Or if it were me, my number one focus is getting the illegals out.
It's definitely going to have a different feel. It already does. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And the way things are going to be operating is going to be more in line with what everybody else already knows should be going up there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be pushback. There's going to be pushback from unelected bureaucrats who are already in those positions. You hear them all the time saying, the DEI folks said they're not going to work for this guy, and don't. That's the beautiful thing about the United States of America. You don't have to stay there.
Nope.
Leave. That's your
Go.
choice. Or you can do what you're supposed to do and just do your job.
Yeah. And here's the thing.
We'll see.
Here's the thing. If you're soft, too bad. It's time to get hard, right? It's time that America goes back in time, because we used to be a hard society, man. You look at that greatest generation of World War II, hard men. I mean, we've walked not that far in them freaking jump boots.
Mhm.
Whew, I couldn't imagine marching across freaking Europe in them things, right?
No.
Hard men.
No.
We have lost the hardness of our society, and DEI is not helping. So if you want to sit there and go, I can't work from, I don't want, you know what? Don't. And if you're going to be one of these hypocrites that go, well, since you got elected, I'm leaving, pack your bags. If you need a ticket, let me know. Give me a call. I'll make sure you get a nice bus ticket down to Mexico. Let me know how that works out for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, with all the money that's missing, it's no stretch of the imagination how, all these folks are getting extremely wealthy. People are able to work from home, not have to do anything, no accountability whatsoever. You know who's going through some hard times? Our fellow Americans out there in California.
Yeah.
That's who's going through some hard times. The folks down in North Carolina, Boone, North Carolina, Maui, all these folks. California is the 5th largest economy in the world. And you're going to tell me that you got a money problem? You ain't got no money problem. The amount of taxes and property taxes, sales taxes, all those things. Money is not your problem. Mismanagement is your problem. And I think people are tired of it. And I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever that that state has flipped.
Oh,
that state has flipped.
Without a doubt. And there's one more piece I got to add to this. So yes, we've got our fellow Americans, but we also have to think about this. The Biden administration has basically trafficked over 300,000 children. We don't know where they're at. God, I mean, those kids, whether they're illegal or not, wrong is wrong, right? And they will never be right, because the horrors that's happening to them, and it was all under this administration. Let that one sink in. Your government peddled over 300,000 children. Yeah, way to go, Mayorkas. And that would be, dude, I don't know how you recover from over 300,000 counts of human trafficking.
Never going to happen.
But
never going to happen.
That's the kind of crap that's being done. So I say all that just to let that set in. Yes, our fellow Americans, trust me, 100% without a doubt. But there's some kids, man, that, God bless, I don't even want to imagine what garbage is happening to them. So
no, and it's just, we've said this on the last couple episodes, that this type of governance, this progressive governance, just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. The emotion side of things needs to be set aside when it comes to providing the basic necessities that the American people expect from their government, especially. And this is a wake-up call for a lot of those individuals who lost everything in the last week, that no one's coming to help you in California. Nobody, especially your local government. And that's a shame. That's a shame. You should expect some kind of basic level of service, and they're not getting any of it. And they haven't been for a long time. Now, again, this does demonstrate the consequence of voting. It does. This is mismanagement. Would it prevented the fire? Nope. No. But could it have been in front of it? Could have done a lot of better things to prevent the amount to limit and minimize the amount of devastation? I think so. I think it's without question.
Without a doubt. So let's just think about this for a minute. And I forget when he got reelected. But my point being, we know Trump was telling him, 5-6 years ago, hey, dude, get your state in check. So somewhere along there had to be an election, right? But regardless, there was Zippo done. So the consequence falls on the people for that one. But hopefully, you know, LA sitting there going, I don't know if that was the right guy. Well, no kidding. When have you had a right guy? When has that state had any of the right people that truly cared about the people of California versus sitting there lining your pockets? And you can sit there and go, Rick, you're crazy. Okay, cool. I just want to know how he's affording a $9 million house. That's $50K a month mortgage. Let that one sink in at 244. Let that one sink in. So,
Yep.
And I feel for the people of freaking LA, man. You guys have bared the brunt that you shouldn't have for his incompetence. You know, for the whole top to the bottom. You know, Mayor, Fire Marshal Bob, Bill, whatever. The waters are, you know, they don't care.
No. I'll give it to them, man. They have absolutely zero shame. It's impressive. My man's up there saying, "Hey, we're not going to tolerate looting. We're not going to tolerate." Oh no, that's weird because I thought it was okay to steal up to a certain amount. You know, what is that amount? I thought that was okay. And it is.
It was $1,000 is what you rolled with, right?
That's right. That's right.
And then you got Fire Marshal Bill going, well, you know, pull my husband out of the fire. Well, he was in the wrong place being in the fire. Oh, it's like, good God, dope. You know, it's just bizarro world that state's living in. But it's headed at the top from Newsom, right? It's Newsom on down. So I'm hoping California, I hope the layers have been pulled off your eyes. I hope you can see that these DEI progressive Dems, and I really care less what party you are, I care about the person, right? But these particular cats, they screwed you, man. They put the ever living boots to you. And here's the thing, they don't care. They give two rats' asses about anybody.
Yeah.
They only care about themselves.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's been made very clear. And you know, everyone out there even in Boone, in North Carolina, in Maui, I hope everybody's staying safe. First responders out there doing everything. The men and women who are flying those drops, you know, keep it up. I know, get some rest, take care of yourself so you can continue the fight, because it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. So, hey, I hope everybody enjoyed this live broadcast on X for the first time. On the Range Cast, CAST. Go check us out. That's our handle, On the Range Cast. Couldn't get podcast because we were 2 letters too long. Yeah, couldn't do it. So we apologize for that little typing error. But you type in On the Range Podcast, we'll pop right up. And check us out. And then also, don't forget to swing by warhog.com, kelleydefense.com for all the stuff that we have that we can, you know, add to this. We've been putting some stuff up concerning some of the rescue efforts, not only with humans, but with animals. Check those out and get on there and interact, like, subscribe, and follow us. Leave us a comment. Give us a 5-star rating if you're listening. It really does help. It really does help. And also check out the Firearms Training Notebook and the crew membership if you go to ontherangepodcast.com and follow us along. You know, we're going to continue to push this stuff on. Go ahead, Rick. I know you're going to add something.
Yeah, no, I just want one thing to add. So guys, if you're in the Panhandle of Florida, February 6th and 7th, you are a law enforcement officer. We have free, I say that again, free red dot pistol training. Free, right? Costing you Zippo. And I know what you're saying. Well, Rick, our agency hasn't transitioned yet. No problem. We got you covered. We'll provide you a Walther PDP pistol equipped with an aim point acro, and you can run that thing in a Safariland holster, right? We got you covered. But you have to swing by warhog.com. And again, go to our training section. You'll see, hey, pick for either 6th or 7th. The only thing I ask is limit it to 2 guys per agency. Because if I have one agency just take it all up, then we're kind of cheating everybody else. Yeah. The beauty with that location out there in out there in the Panhandle, so we're close to Alabama and the Georgia border. So, guys, just don't think I've got to be from Florida. Hey, we'll take people all over. We've had people come. You would be surprised the distances people have traveled. Not for this particular
Australia.
course. Australia. Yep.
We've had people come see us in Australia. Said they came just for our classes.
Yeah. So people will travel. But here's my point. My law enforcement officers, it is free to you guys. Go to warhog.com for February 6th or 7th down in Hope, Florida, which is on the Panhandle. Free red dot pistol training. All you have to do is bring 400 rounds of 9mm, your regular range equipment. And dude, we will get you a good day of training. And here's the thing. We've got something new for 2025. I won't let the cat out of the bag. I've kind of done a slight preview. If you've seen it, you've seen it. If you haven't, you haven't. But it's going to start being the talk of the town because this certain item can't be purchased. It has to be earned. And that's something that's rare this day and age. So,
yeah. Make sure when you go to ontherangepodcast.com, warhog.com, and kelleydefense.com, you check out our training calendars. But if you sign up for one of the newsletters or one of the email lists, you're going to get that information. You're going to get the information, and the training is going to ramp up a little bit once we thaw out a little bit here in the Midwest. But appreciate everybody joining in. It's been a lot of fun. Dan M. and Joseph, no last name. There's some other folks. I know I'm not going to get to everybody. Just thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the comments. It really helps things go along. And again, if you have firsthand knowledge of any of these disaster areas in the United States, make sure you go to be our guest, one word, at ontherangepodcast.com. Send us your info. We'll link up with you and we'll get you on the show so we can help get some information out to the masses. Anything you want to talk about, the first responders, the insurance incidents and all that stuff going on out there. But whatever you got going on, give us a call, even if it's in North Carolina.
Yeah.
You got some information. We haven't forgot about you folks.
No.
We're still praying for all of you in Maui as well. So go ahead and leave us an email at beourguest@ontherangepodcast. Man, great show, Rick. Went off without a hitch, I think.
Yeah, buddy. I mean, always good. Greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. So probably end up trying to do these a little more. See if we can't get the X machine rolling. And here's the thing: be interactive. If you guys got something you want us to chat about, something, I don't know, subject matter, whatever, hit us up. Let us know. Yeah. But here's the beauty, guys. Right? Here's the key thing. For our crew members, they got bonus content because once we end this live on the regular platforms, crew members, you know the deal, guys. Stand by. We got added stuff coming for you.
Yep. And if you're listening live, it's going to be live tonight. So go here and check us out. All right, Rick. You want to go ahead and close us out?
You got it, buddy. As always, guys, wherever you are at in the world, you guys train hard, stay safe, and we'll see you on the range.
Yeah, buddy.